creek. Right through the corner.
See anything?
Yeah, I've sit right over in there and ground cane, stuffing it in. The mules going around with a big long pole, grinding the cane, squeezing the juice out of it. And the furnace sitting right here where there's boiling the molasses.
Hey, Mom, what's that right there?
Barn used to be down right over there.
The barn was right over there. That big old oak tree right there. A little garden around it, cleared off. There's a long leaf pine. See that one right there with the big long leaves on? I've hoed and plowed corn and everything else up through there. And we'd take the horses out of the stable and go right close to that big old tree there where the pasture fence was here, and take them to the creek over there to drink water.
So this is the old Gallion homestead?
Mm-hmm.
That used to be the garden on the right. There's a big old white oak tree that used to stand here. And we had a path that went right down over the bluff, over the rocks, down to the barn, where I'd have to go to milk the cows. And there was another big old stump right along here, it's a big old tree. Because there's the old wagon sheds fell in. Yeah, we growed stuff in here, had the grapevines along there, and an apple orchard below it. We growed Stark's apples. I don't know what all of that stuff is. Now, just beyond this, our corn crib sitting like that. And we'd haul in the corn and pile it in a shed on the right side of the crib. Have corn shucking. People come in from all over the countryside and shuck out our corn. And then we'd have big feed.
What was that?
And then this was all garden down in there. This is where we grew our vegetables. Had a big fence around it, keep chickens out of it. And we had a hog lot down in there where we growed our hogs, had a hog pen. Now right down there, you can see looks like a cedar tree about as high as my head. And just to the right of it there, about 10 foot, was a tunnel back up under the hill. And they kept a lot of canned stuff in it like that in the winter to keep it from freezing.
Is it still there?
And I doubt it. It's probably caved in. And then after this newer part of a house was built, they had the basement under it, and we put that stuff in the basement and they quit using the tunnel. So that's whenever we let the hogs have it to live in the wintertime. Now about where that dogwood is, about halfway to Clara, there used to be a big, huge white oak tree stood there. And I had honeybees, a row of them by that tree right along here.
What'd you say was over there?
The chicken house, where we kept the chickens.
Can you tell me how the house was built? You said that was the new part.
Okay, the new part, the date in the chimney there. Originally it was just 2 rooms, and the new part was built in 1919.
She wants to know which was the new part and which was the old part.
Well, you can't tell from this side. Where the peak roof is and this chimney, that was the old part, just 2 rooms. And then later, this room here was built on the side, and then there's 2 more rooms where this chimney is built crossways. But all of that was built before I was born. The wash pot stood, we had a table against that white oak, where we put the tub, and the wash pot stood right down here where we washed the clothes. That's the old wood shed there, where we used to gather up our wood and put it inside out of the rain.
Yes, that's the
Yeah, they put a pump in the well, and that's the pipe. We used to draw water with that wind up there all the time. The well's about 54 foot deep.
Is there water in it?
Yeah, man.
Oh, the other ones, you gotta
You gonna
push it up.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find a place to get up.
got a little flashlight.
Well, this was the old kitchen. Now, this was the fireplace that they kept warm by when the original house was just this room and that one there. Then later, the rest of the house in 1919 was finished and built. Now, the cook stove used to stand
Oh, they
right
closed up
there,
the
and the pots
fireplace.
and the pans hung on the wall behind it. That's where we kept the flour. We'd take our own wheat to the mill and have it ground right behind that curtain.
They don't have Grandma's old safe in here anymore. do they?
No, we had an old wood cook stove there.
Yeah, this is where the cook stove sit, the fire.
Yeah, and that was the dining room in there where they had the table and we ate.
And they had a big table in here. None of it looks as big as it used to look.
And they used to keep 2 beds in here. And
No, he moved down to the lake.
I was born right here in this corner of the room.
This is that upstairs.
Stairwell,
That's where
yeah.
they used to bring, Charles them would bring a black cat in here and rub it and watch sparks fly. You know how it's static electricity.
That's how you go upstairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the key to the house.
Junk of all descriptions up here. There used to be 2 spinning wheels set up here. And I asked Lucille if she knew what went with them. And she said somebody come in the house and got them while Dad was being buried. Grandpa early made one of the spinning wheels. We kept 3 or 4 cats around all the time. When I lived back here, the commode and all that wasn't here. We had an outhouse.
Yeah, Uncle Jim's Sunday school class built this for him.
That was the dining room. Yeah, that's the type of brooms we used. I used to make them. The old straws that's made out of grew wild. That's they called it broom straw.
I'm not gonna open the door on this one. Swish it.
And this is where
My mother used to sleep in this bed, or I don't know if it was that bed. And the sewing machine used to sit right there.
right there on the table.
Dad's bed was right in that corner, and we stayed warm by the fireplace here. And Dad had a little table about that square in that corner that the old kerosene lamp sat on. And he'd sit there and hug that lamp with his Bible and read his Bible. He had a large print Bible. This was the company room back here.
There's a closet in that bedroom.
Smokehouse sit right here, where we kept our meat. And yeah, there's the outhouse. It's still there.
There's some old. It's a 2-holer.
Yeah.
Here's the door. Is this the one you had when you were a kid?
No, we'd go to the bushes whenever I was a kid.
Who built this one?
I don't know. But this was here before I left to go to the Army. But I don't remember who built
It's
it.
even got a.
This reminds me of a joke during World War II.
I need to use the
A
facilities.
soldier that come home on vacation.
Uh huh.
He was telling big stories to his parents, and he had a hand grenade with him, so he was going to demonstrate how powerful a hand grenade was. So he walked up pretty close to the outhouse, pitched the hand grenade under it there and let it go off, blew the door off, slide out the wall. Old Grandpa come out with his breakfast down and says, "I'm sure glad I didn't let that one in the house."
Cellar door.
Turn the light back on.
Yes, I hope flashlight. Oh, really?